Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 23rd. We're just going to jump right in here, Leo, and we are going to see what is going on for you at this time. And that'll be that. I'm almost positive that you had this card like last week or the week before, something like that. So clearly this is something you've been working on for a while, like cleaning up your vibration, cleaning up the energy, something along those lines. We're going to take a look at it, Leo, and we'll see. We'll see what's going on here for you, and that'll be that. But Leo, let's see here, Leo, what is going on for you? You have this clean it up card. So again, I do feel some of you could be kind of like trying to clean up something up, obviously. With the moon here in your first position, what I would say is that the moon could represent like a weird vibe or a weird vibration, something that you just can't quite put your finger on. And that's how I feel for you, where it's like sometimes I think we feel like something's wrong in our life, or we feel like something's kind of coming here, or maybe something is entering into our life. We have that kind of like anticipation energy. And that's what I feel for you here. Is it's more like anticipation that I feel like, and so maybe you've been trying to kind of put your finger on it with this clean it up card. So again, with the clean it up card, we could literally be cleaning, but we could find ourselves doing other things as well, like getting rid of things, cutting things out of our life, whatever. And so I feel a lot of you have been kind of working on that. You have the moon, the Seven of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. Number one, I would be very careful of like any tricky energy here. I don't like this. Here's my problem with the Six of Pentacles is that this guy right here, normally on a normal card, he has something like in his back pocket here. You can kind of see it on this deck here, but you have the moon and the Seven of Swords, which could be like not seeing things clearly with the moon. The Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing, or trickster energy. And the Six of Pentacles, to me, can represent someone who has like ulterior motives, someone who is like holding things back in a situation, or someone who isn't like giving, a full effort, or has other reasons for doing the things that they're doing. So I would be very careful. Like if you feel off, and again, this is one of those things where I feel like you feel it. I mostly feel like you feel it because of that clean it up vibe. It's like you can't quite put your finger on it, but I feel like some of you feel off about a person. And I would definitely trust those feelings is what I would say to you here. I always say, like, my whole entire life, I've always regretted it when I didn't trust those feelings. I always tell the story. I used to work with this guy, Steve, and everybody loves Steve, right? I didn't like Steve from like day one, and everybody's like, why don't you like Steve? Steve is awesome. I'm like, I don't know. So like, I kind of like came around. I was like, okay, Steve is okay. And, I started to like Steve. And then it's like one day Steve stole like $50,000 worth of merchandise and never showed up again. So it's like, I was right? I should have trusted my feeling. I'm not saying that's what you're dealing with, but again, I feel like you could have a weird feeling about a person here. I'm just putting it out there. Could be in love. I'm not even just getting one situation. It could be, love or business or otherwise. And I really feel you need to trust your intuition here. I feel like you're going to be right. And I do feel like other people, people could be like, why don't you trust this person? Don't even explain yourself is what I would say. And you don't even have to tell people you don't trust them, if you don't want to. But again, I would just keep your guard up here a little bit. Definitely popping into my head. For others, I feel this is all about what your readings are always about here, Leo. Your readings are always about doing something differently. You can see that he's going to war differently. There's an army in the background here, and he's stealing those swords from that army, but he's basically going to war, but he's not like facing them head on. So the Seven of Swords is really a card of tactics, and it's a card of doing things differently. Same thing here. He's giving to one thing and not the other on the Six of Pentacles, and it's kind of popping into my head that it's like there could be other ways for you to do things, which I always get for you, Leo. It seems to be a major lesson for you, where it's like there could be other ways of doing things that would be very beneficial. It always reminds me, I used to, have a marketing company when I was younger. And it reminds me of a story that I once heard from someone else that I worked with, where it's like they were working with like a filtration company or something. And this company was like obsessed with selling like $1 filters or whatever, something like that, right? They made these like gigantic industrial filters that cost like, I don't know, crazy amounts of money, right? Like $200,000 or something like that. I don't remember how much it really was, but they made these other ones that were like much bigger, that would sell for much more. And so this guy I knew, he went into the business and he basically just started selling the big ones instead of the little ones, right? And like transform the business overnight. So it's like sometimes I think it's like we don't see what we should be doing. Like we don't see the right thing, where we think we should be doing one thing, but maybe it would be way worth our time to do something else. And I'm not saying this is just in business, but again, I feel like something could be transforming here. And look at this. You have this power of purpose card. It's like when you focus on something, you will make it happen, plain and simple. I really don't know. If I'm being honest with you, actually, I just want to pull up the chart here, Leo, which I forgot to do today. But, what I would say is that part of me feels like the energy in Aquarius, like right now we just have Saturn in Aquarius, and I wanted to talk about something else here that I was looking at the other day. Everything is kind of like is almost aspecting that Saturn Aquarius, but that's not the point. My point is part of me feels like we had a bunch of energy in Aquarius. It's all moved on, but at the same time, I kind of feel like that Aquarian energy really kind of got us to maybe have a focus or need to have a focus, like need to have a purpose. And I feel like the more powerful you can focus on like one thing, the more successful you will be. So I feel there's a lot of success for you, but a lot of it I feel has to do with focus. You have the Two of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and the Ten of Cups. This could definitely be like fortune after difficulty or happiness. But again, it's funny that you have this Eight of Swords, because it's like saying, the Eight of Swords is about being too close to a problem. It's about, being stuck. It's a card of self-imposed restriction. And it's like there's this happiness outside of it, the Two of Cups and the Ten of Cups. So I kind of get that feeling of maybe needing to gain some outside perspective. There could be people you do trust. Again, we're not talking about this person you don't trust over here. We're talking about people you do trust. I feel those types of people could be very beneficial in helping you see something, like the filter story that I told you. You know what I mean? It's like maybe you don't see it, which is fine. We can't see everything. Trust me. I'm like, I have ADHD. It's like I can't. I skim over so much of my life. It's not even funny, right? So who knows how many opportunities I miss out on, right? But what I would say is if I didn't have a team of people helping me out, then I would miss everything. So I feel that there could be like some help without even clarifying. I have a feeling that it's going to come up in the clarification that there could be people who can help you. The Two of Cups even could be a perfect match, and it doesn't have to be in love. The Two of Cups could be a business partner. It could just be someone who really helps you out. But I do feel this is talking about love, by the way, and I do feel that there is kind of like love entering into your life. I'd say it's more like in your energy. And is it here yet? I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like you have the Ten of Cups here. Every once in a while, Leo, to me, the Ten of Cups is a card of dating. To me, it's kind of like a card that I look at as a clue card sometimes. Again, I only say this when I feel it, and I feel it in your reading, that it could be a good time for you to date. It could be a good time for you to get out there because of this card. The interesting thing that I just noticed is look, on the bottom of my clarifying deck, Ten of Cups. There you go. So I feel like it would be a good time to date. And Ten of Cups is also a fortune after difficulty. So there definitely seem to be a lot of improvements coming in for you. It's crazy. I'm doing this video on the 18th, by the way. And like literally yesterday on the 17th, like I've been exhausted for since the last eclipse, like on the 30th, right? Super tired, totally out of it and everything. And it's like all of a sudden yesterday, the 17th, like I felt like a click, like something snapped. And I was like, I felt better, And this was like last night. And I'm still a little bit tired today, but I even woke up earlier today. I wasn't super groggy and tired and like all that other stuff. So I do feel that there are some, kind of like good things coming in. Part of me feels like, to me, the other thing to remember is that like a Mercury retrograde is always worse at the beginning and the end. That's when it's like at its strongest, right? So I'm wondering if we're kind of like, clearly we are moving more towards like the middle of the retrograde, and that could be part of the reason why, things could be getting better. Next, you have this entrance card here, and I feel that some of you are just entering into a new time, plain and simple. I really feel this is talking about time. You have the strength card, you showing up in a strong position, the Three of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. Yeah, really needing to get out of this Nine of Swords energy. I would definitely, again, I'm not a doctor, so don't take this as medical advice, but I would definitely take care of your health here. in this reading, I would make sure that you're staying healthy. Six of Pentacles is, again, like investing. It's like, where do you put your energy into something? And it says, are you feeding yourself? Not with necessarily food, but like, are you feeding yourself in all the ways that you need to be fed? Like, do you need to be fed more spiritually? Love-wise, do you need more health? What do you need, right? And I feel that this is kind of like saying, make sure to balance those things out. Again, I always tell people, tarot is not a prison sentence, right? You're watching tarot so you can avoid this, so that you don't have to deal with this energy. So if you take care of yourself now, this is something that could be avoided, the Nine of Swords. So I would take care of yourself. Again, you're not the only sign that has had a message about their health. I don't remember who the other ones were, but whenever I get like repeating things like that, I always tell people, to me it's important, because to me that says the energy is magnified. People always get super mad. They're like, how dare you talk about another sign? I'm like, oh, how dare I, right? But what I would say here, the reason I talk about it is because to me, it's like saying there's a magnifying glass over that type of energy for you, for whoever it shows up for. So, that's why I bring it up. And, I would just pay attention. Three of Wands, card of expansion. I kind of feel like this is a blessing and a curse. To me, for you here, Leo, it's like I feel there's like a lot of expansion coming in for you. There could be a lot of attention as well. But it could also be one of those things where there are some things that come along with, kind of expansion that maybe you don't like, right? So I feel like some of you are kind of like balancing or learning to balance the energies of expansion in your life. It's like some of you could be moving, and it's like expansion could be maybe you're moving from a small town to a big town. It's like there's some benefits. Maybe there's actually places to go, right? But maybe there's some downsides as well. Maybe you're really close to people and you don't want to be close to people and all this other stuff. So I feel like you're kind of like learning how to deal with like certain types of expansion. That's only one type of expansion. Again, you might be making more money. It's like when you make more money, you have to pay more taxes, right? That's another thing. It's like maybe you don't like that, but you have to deal with it. I always tell people, love the taxes, even though taxes are theft. But what I would say here is love them, right? Because then you're going to attract more money. I always tell people, attract as much as you possibly can. With the moon here, you have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is a card that says don't give up. I remember what I said as well, Leo. Boundaries. I'm telling you right now, I would be very careful. You're going to sniff this out. Like, the reason I'm telling you this is because I want to make sure that you don't doubt yourself. Like I did with Steve, frickin' Steve is what I would say there. But, what I would say is you're going to sniff this out if there's a person you don't trust. Or this could be a situation you don't trust as well. Like maybe your cousin Bernie comes to you and is like, hey, I have this business. We're gonna invest in, paper straws, because that's gonna be the next big thing, and we're gonna make $1 billion. But it's like, I don't know. Has he ever had a successful business in the past? That's what I would ask. But again, I would say if something doesn't feel right, trust your feelings, right? With the Seven of Swords, you have the Judgment card. I feel for some of you, this is a waking up process. And again, you are probably receiving answers that are giving you clues to doing something else. It's funny that I said I felt that click on the 17th or whenever it was. I'll just tell you a little story. It's like what I see for you is it's like if you've been looking for ideas or like new ideas on like what to do, but you're not sure what to do in work, business, career, or whatever. It's like I feel like something just kind of like pops into your head and just kind of comes to you, right? It's like a couple years ago during a retrograde. Actually, I started a business, and it's like I was looking for a name, and literally the name was brilliant and just came to me like out of the blue, and I was like, great. That business, of course, is one of the businesses that didn't last after the retrograde, but I made a bunch of money that I like desperately needed at the time during the retrograde with the business, even though it was short-lived. And what I would say is I feel like one of those moments of genius or whatever they call it coming in for you with the Judgment card. So whatever you need, pay attention to your thoughts. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords. There you go. I mean, seeing things clearly. It's like there's a moment of clarity coming in for you, and I would take advantage of it. Right there, she sees things clearly for the first time. She finally sees things clearly, so love it. With the Two of Cups, you have the Chariot victory coming in for you, some sort of win. I do feel for some of you could be meeting someone from a distance. Here's my problem, is that according to Chris's crappy astrology here, if you're moving, if you're traveling, I mean, to me, I would just say that everything we want is on the other side of something we've never done before. So shout out to Leo King, right? It's like a couple years ago or a year ago now, I did a interview with him, and that's what I was saying, how I felt about like 2021 or something, is that everything you want is on the other side of something you've never done before. I feel like it's super true for you Leos, more so than anyone else, pretty much. So What I mean by that is it's like if you're moving somewhere you've never been, then there's probably a really good chance that you'll meet a person at this time. Again, some people I think, some people come to me and say, Chris, that's obvious. You're entering into a place you've never been before. So there's like new people. I'm always like, yeah, but it's actually not that obvious because it's like, would this happen otherwise if we weren't living at the time that we're living in right now? I'd say probably not. The other thing is I feel like some of you are on the fence. You're thinking like, do I move? Do I not move? And I'm not telling you what to do, but I do feel like there are just a lot of benefits in like moving or changing something. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Three of Pentacles. Teamwork makes the dream work. So if you're not working on a team, you're crazy. I see a lot of team changes for you, Leo. Like I feel like a lot of you maybe have had a lot of changes, on like if you have a team already. If you don't have a team, I feel like you could be developing a team or becoming part of a team. I just see teamwork as being extremely beneficial for people in the future, obviously. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Six of Swords, improvements coming in for you. Definitely like a fortune after difficulty type thing here. Remember what I was saying about that Eight of Swords, by the way, with that Three of Pentacles? It's like you see one way of doing things right there, but there are three people looking at those Three Pentacles. So there could be like three ways of doing things, right? And like I said, I felt on that Eight of Swords that, what did I say? Without even clarifying, right? Before I clarified, I was like, I guarantee there will be like something coming up about other people. And there you go. And with the Strength card, you have the World. The World is a card of completion, and it's also a card of accomplishment. I just feel it's you. You show up on the World card, by the way, on the bottom right-hand right-hand corner. And so I feel that is just your energy. You're kind of like accomplishing things. With the Three of Wands, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles says, is the juice worth the squeeze? I can't answer that question for you, Leo. I would say, is where you are safe? If the answer is yes, I would say leave. And you might be saying, Chris, are you freaking nuts? I want to be safe. And yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, we all want to be safe. But to me, like safe, if you're playing it safe, I feel like that is very boring, And the Three of Wands wants us to expand. So again, of course, I'm not suggesting that you put yourself in danger. That's not what I mean by safe, right? What I mean by safe is it's like, if you feel that you're capable of doing something more with your life, get out and do it, right? With this Seven of Pentacles, because I feel like you'll be successful. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Four of Swords, card of recovery, card of healing, card of blessings entering into your life as well. This person up here is receiving blessings from another person in that stained glass window. So I kind of feel like there are blessings coming in for you. But these are blessings that you're working for. This is a pretty powerful reading. I like it. Again, I would focus on like getting advice, from people that you trust, obviously. Again, I feel like this situation over here, it's like what it is. This situation that you don't trust, you feel it, you sense it. It's not something that's hidden. I feel like you sense that you don't trust a person, or you sense that someone shouldn't be trusted. So again, but the thing that I'm warning you against is to make sure you trust the feeling, because sometimes we don't, right? I always regret it when I don't listen to my gut, plain and simple. So I would listen to your gut, but this is a really good reading. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.